All right, hopefully you're having a good start of the week. Hopefully everything has been going well. Today we're going to jump into another two-card review. We are continuing with the Rise of Red Skull box and focusing still on Spider-Woman cards, right? Last week we had some aggression cards that were really good. We're going to continue that today with Tack Team and Press the Advantage. Now, one of them I actually use a fair amount, the other not so much. So I'm excited to talk a bit about these cards, but before we do me a huge favor, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. It really helps with the channel. We're getting close to 6,500 people, which is crazy. It's really cool. So I'm really excited for everyone that's done that. Thank you very much for the support. I appreciate it. But yeah, we're gonna make sure to do that. And then Twitch, right? Don't forget about Twitch. Twitch.tv/D20 we're working. Hit that button down below, or go to that site, hit the follow button down below. All right, let's go check out these cards. All right, so this is the entry for Tack Team. They don't have a picture of it, but it was in the core set. We just didn't talk about it. So Tack Team is a 3-cost support aggression card. It's a shield card. Uses 3 counters. Exhaust Tack Team and remove 1 attack counter from it. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. This card I've never really used. I'll be completely honest. I've never really used this card that much. But you know what's funny? After seeing this, we talk a lot about shield decks and how useful they are. They're really good. And most of the shield cards are Justice. I have never experimented with shield with Spider-Woman doing aggression and justice. I know other people have. I've seen it. And it just reminded me that I still need to try that and see how well that kind of build works. I'm sure it'd be pretty decent. But as far as this card, basically it's 3 costs to do 2 damage over time. Now, the big argument you can make for this is that it's not an attack, right? It's an action. So you're dealing 2 damage. So if you are stunned, you could still use this card. So unless you're trying to clear your stun, then it's not useful in that regard. But it is good for that, where now, okay, if I just need to deal damage, I'm no longer having to worry about dealing with a stun. I could just still use this card. So it's useful there. It'd be cool if they build on shield stuff later on and build out this where you can get more counters on it. You know, kind of what we saw with the Justice support Snoop counters, right? Kind of they do the same thing on that. That'd be pretty cool if they did something related to that. I think that'd be fun. Do I use this card a lot? Not really. Not really. I do want to try a Spider-Woman shield deck with using Justice and Aggression, and maybe it'll be a little more useful for me there. The 3 for 6 trade-off is just a lot. It's a really expensive card for what it is. It's nice if you're stunned, like you don't have to worry about it. Like that part's good. Also, back in the day when minions were cheaper to deal with, or if you're just playing older hero or older villains, minions were a bit cheaper to deal with. So this was like a little bit better for that. But now that minions have got more expensive and they have tufts on everything, and everything's just like a bit harder to do, right? And it feels like Tack Team is not as useful. So for me personally, I don't really use the card that much. I could see spots where you use it, but it's definitely not a card that I use. But I do want to experiment with Spider-Woman and Shield. Press the Advantage. I never really use this card, but now as we get more into stun and confuse locks, this card is a lot more useful to me now, especially in aggression where generally speaking, when I play aggression, I'm not flipping down a whole lot. So if I can confuse an enemy using like the Psylocke ally or something like that, I can now get an easy way to draw a card to offset the cost of this card, which is actually kind of cool. Right, so press the advantage, 1 cost event to attack. Hero action, attack, deal 2 damage to an enemy. If the enemy is stunned or confused, draw 1 card. Now, the dealing damage thing is not great. It's not very good. But aggression now has more ways to confuse your enemy. And because of that, I don't flip down in aggression, especially when I'm playing solo, right? So because I'm not doing that, I'm not using the confuse that often. It's kind of like a backstop for if they draw advance, because that's how I lose most of my games is through the advance card. So because of that, right, I don't have to flip down as much. And the confuse stays there. And now I could play this card, usually probably using a martial prowess, right? Is that the one that generates the resource for you? I think I always get that one. Combat training, that one I get confused. I think it's martial prowess generates the resource for you. So generate the resource, play this card, so it's only an effective cost of like 1 at that point, and then I get another card back. Well, and that makes an effective cost of 1, but I get to draw another card. So I do like the way that works. I think that's pretty cool. Originally, I never did it because the stun wouldn't last long enough because usually I stay up in hero and right, it wouldn't work out great. But now that there's more confused abilities on the aggression side of things, this card's being used a little bit more. And I definitely see myself using it a little bit more. The 2 damage is fine. It's whatever. I honestly, I kind of use it more as a way to like knock off a tough. Unless I'm only swinging for one, then I'll swing for one. But it's just a cheap, easy event that lets you get card draw as well. Really quick, if you haven't yet, join the Discord. The link is down below. It's a lot of fun. We're almost at 400 people in it, which is kind of crazy. Hopefully you enjoy this good 2-card review. We're going to keep going along and see what we have next. And I want to thank you all that have hit the subscribe button, that have supported this channel. It really means a lot. See you all next time.